Hey there everybody. With the 4th of July coming up, I thought I would show you how to take some used pallets and turn them into a mortar rack that you can use with something a little like this. This is an HDPE tube DR11. I got mine off of Pyro Boom for a pretty reasonable price, but when you're dealing with artillery shells and whatnot, this is what you're going to want. Don't go to the store and buy something like PVC because unfortunately you'll be buying a frag grenade. This is the safe way to do your artillery shells, but when you're dealing with something this small, you also can't just bury them in the ground and set them off like that because they will actually just cut a path in the dirt. You're going to want to have a proper mortar rack or a good container of some kind. You also don't want to do something hodgepodge like I've actually seen folks out there use milk crates, and that's just asking for trouble. With a good mortar rack, you're actually going to have a little bit of spacing between the tubes so that in the event that one of these does go off, it's going to stay to just that one. You don't want to have this travel, and if it does, it's going to be really pretty, but it's going to ruin your 4th. Now, in my particular instance, I obviously have no shortage of pallets. However, that's because I've been hoarding them up for a couple other projects where I was going to do like pallet furniture, pallet wood floors, stuff like that. If you don't have a collection like this, you can actually still go to a lot of places and they will typically give them away for free. You can buy them from folks, but really just be a little resourceful. You'll find them. Now, in this example, I'm gonna just, rather than wasting time with a crowbar or a claw hammer and having a royal pain in the butt, you can pick up one of these, and this is a pallet breaker. This one was about 20 bucks. You can find them around that price, sometimes a little more expensive, but Google's your friend. Now, when you're wanting to break apart a pallet, all you do, get it like that, put a bit of weight on the board, pull apart. It is that straightforward. Just repeat the process, and this will actually keep your boards fairly intact where you can actually reuse them for other projects. This one I don't know that I'm going to be using for the mortars themselves because they're a little on the thin side, possibly as a spacer between the tubes themselves, but what we're actually after in this case is the baseboard. Now you may have a little more trouble with the ones on the bottom. It's just a case of finding the right place to put your weight, or occasionally just break them off. Break them all off. Good Lord. Firewood. Now, if you want to do this a little more carefully so that you aren't wasting all of this good wood, I recommend not doing it while it's sopping wet. But I am a serial procrastinator, and the 4th is coming up whether I want it to or not. So I need these taken apart now. That works too. Oh, you bitch. Now, in my case, I have, I believe, about 20 tubes that I'm going to be putting together, and because I don't have a huge setup right now, what I'm planning on doing is a 20 tube fan rack, which is going to be a series of smaller tubes that are all put together in kind of this style. The reason for that is if you don't have a lot of property to spread out your fireworks, doing it in that way can get a little bit more of a spread in the air with just one mortar tube array. More bang for your buck. And the reason I say starting with mortar X is because screwing up is half the battle. The other half is keeping going. You probably should be using gloves for this, but just don't cut yourself. So many pallets. That will be the 5th time that's gone on my foot. It's a learning curve. Oh, is it a learning curve? Now, the original intent had been to make a larger scale rack like the one you see behind this. However, due to the way the pallets are built and just erring on the side of safety, I am probably going to be making a smaller one like you see right now. That's using just the center bit.